Life is beautiful and complicated.
But the good news is it gets even less complicated and more beautiful, albeit more chaotic as we grow.
So why not grab a drink?
And let's enjoy the chaos together. Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome to Enjoy the Chaos.
That's right. We're back.
No hesitation.
No hesitation.
No hesitation. Now we're just rolling right on into it every time.
That's right. I love it.
We are back.
Back with our friends.
Back with our friends.
That's right.
And this week we're having a margarita.
A little marg. I love it.
I love a margarita. Love
Yes.
it. It's probably one of my favorite drinks. I think outside of red wine, if you wanted me to pick one drink I had to drink forever, it would be a margarita.
That is so interesting.
I love a margarita.
I've never been a huge margarita fan.
You're not drinking the right ones.
That's it. I truly feel that way.
Mhm.
I absolutely feel that way. I think it's how you make it.
Now,
You know?
not like
It's
not
in
like a
it.
commercial,
Yes.
cheesy margarita that literally tastes like dish soap and tequila.
Maybe that's what I've had.
But if you make a good homemade margarita,
Yes.
you muddle the lime and I put jalapeno in there and all the things. So
That sounds good.
today we have a quick fix margarita,
Yeah.
which is the Skinny Girl margarita.
Yes.
Which is pre-made. So literally all you do is open the top and pour it over ice.
That's it.
And they have several flavors.
Yes. Spicy.
Yes.
Margarita, regular margarita.
And I
I
think
mentioned
there
one other one.
was it like peach or pineapple
Something,
or
maybe a
strawberry?
maybe a fruit?
Some type of fruit infused. Yes.
Yes.
But today we just have the classic margarita.
That's right.
So even though it's 48 degrees outside, I'm going to start willing it to be spring. I'm over the cold.
Okay, so clearly I'm 40 because I'm hot.
I'm over the cold.
Like
Like
I was
in the moment or
I'm
like
hot.
today?
Today I'm hot.
So
Age.
speaking of being 40, I'll tell a quick story about being 40.
Yes. I love stories.
So yesterday I went to a new optometrist, or maybe he's an ophthalmologist. I'm not sure what the difference is, to be honest. But I needed contacts and I hadn't gotten them, and they make you go so often if you haven't been or whatever. So I went, and I went to a new doctor because I wanted to go somewhere close to where we live, support that community, blah blah blah. He's super nice.
Yeah.
And he's, doing the eye exam, and he's like, so, do you wear glasses? I'm like, yeah, I have glasses and contacts, but I pretty much only wear my glasses from the bed to the bathroom.
Right.
And he was like, well, I really feel like, you could benefit from bifocals.
I'm sorry.
I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Bifocal.
And he was like,
what?
well, that happens in your 40s. And I was like, well, number one,
I've just been here a minute, actually.
I'm only 40. I'm not in my 40s. So thank you very much. Check the date in the chart. And number two, I need you to fix it because that's not right. I'm not ready for that. Do not put that in writing that you ever even spoke to me about bifocals. But then he was like, I just want to show you what the difference would be. I'm going to put they bring the little thing up to your face. And he was like, this is what it would be like when you're reading if you had bifocals. And I was like, well, that's not life-changing, so trash. Your diagnosis is trash.
Nope.
So, but I thought that was funny.
That's right.
This is what happens.
This is what happens.
Oh.
And I love that he mentioned in your 40s.
These things start happening.
40s.
These things start happening in your 40s. And he wasn't young.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was another one of those just reminders that, the universe has a way of putting you in check because the day before I got carded.
You got carded?
I got carded and I was like, okay, new skin.
I know. Oh my goodness. Yes. This is my skin regimen.
Hashtag aging backwards.
Right.
And then this nice gentleman told me that I needed.
So good.
Told you I'm changing this year.
You pulled back. You pulled
changing
back
this year.
right there. That was good.
I didn't want to put anything in the swear jar. This nice gentleman told me I needed bifocals.
Oh. But we ain't getting them.
We're not getting them.
No,
we're not getting
today.
them. No, we're not getting them. We're not getting them.
I love it.
Anyway.
That is what it is. Yeah.
So you read a book.
Did I?
By Jeannie Allen.
Yeah.
Called Find Your People.
I did.
What did you get out of that?
That everybody's not your people.
Can y'all hear Piglet?
Do y'all hear Piglet?
Do y'all hear Piglet? Do you just want to let her in?
Pig is like,
no,
Pig is like, let me in, friends.
Poor Pig.
Aww.
She's probably not going to let up, but okay. It may get worse.
That's right. If you hear our mascot.
If you hear Pig in the background, it's just Piglet.
That's right. So not everybody is your friend.
Okay.
Not everybody's your friend, and that's okay. That finding your people is important for your life, though.
It helps with anxiety, stress, depression. It keeps you sane, I would even say. And she doesn't say that, but it, as a whole, it keeps you grounded, and that's how you're able to get through life, Sweet pig. And so I do love that book, and it's been a while since I've read it, but I think in the end, it's a good book if you feel like it's hard to find your people.
Right.
Like
Which
I'm struggling finding who my tribe is.
Right.
Pick that book up because it is really good. Because at the end I was like, yeah, there's a lot of good things here. Like we talked to B just a little bit ago about even her having a difficult time. She moved here. And then you talked about even your last city you were in, you were having a difficult time too, but that was a move as well. So you moved from a large city to another large city. That was difficult to find your people.
Now to a small city
that it's hard to always connect. And as I was thinking about this, I thought about introverts and extroverts. I thought about, because I am a big E. Shocker. But I think about even people who are introverts, like even that might be harder for them to seek out their people.
Well, that was what B said. She said that, she wants to meet people, but she's not really into a lot of people.
Right.
So
I love that. B's not really into a lot of people.
Like I want to meet people, but I don't really like people. So it makes it hard.
It's a hard balance. I agree. And I love, when I was thinking about this too, I want to hear about you and your friends because y'all have such an amazing group. And I think what you had mentioned is some of those are from college, but then you were originally raised here.
Yes.
Right. And so you went to college and then came back.
Yes.
So tell us a little about your friend, because, people see this on Facebook. Y'all have such a unique group that, y'all are sisters and have been friends for a long time. So
and it has taken us a lot to get to
That's
where
right.
we are
That's right.
now.
That's right.
So it's funny because I'm an Albany native. I didn't know any of these people before when I lived here the first time.
That's right, which is so interesting, yeah.
And so I went to college in Statesboro,
Right.
and then I stayed over in that area for 2 years after graduation. And, I mentioned that, when I moved back, Gina and I kind of came together from a mutual friend because we didn't know anybody else.
That's right.
And I didn't, because most of my friends that left when we graduated, they didn't come back. So I was fortunate in that I had some kind of like family cousins is what we call each other that lived here. So I would hang out with them, but I didn't have any friends.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how I was going to make friends.
Yeah.
Because it's different. And I thought about this when we talked about the topic, like Barrett. There was no introduction to the neighborhood kids.
Right.
Like,
right.
They literally passed each other on the street one day and was like, "You're the same height as me. You're a boy. We're friends.
Score.
We're hanging out." And that's how it was.
Yeah, that's right.
When the first
So
time
easy.
the first time one of them came over to the house, I was like, "What was his name?" I don't know. But they've been playing together for 3 hours. It didn't matter.
Still my friend.
Yeah, still my friend. That's still my friend. They're just my friends.
I love that.
And I wish it was like that as adults.
Yeah.
That I could be like,
so easy.
"Oh my God, I love your
Yeah.
headband. Let's be best friends."
That's exactly right.
But so I would joke, like when I moved back, like trying to make friends was almost like trying to find somebody to date.
Ooh.
Like
that's
you,
good.
like
Yeah.
you would go out.
Yes.
Because at that age, when you come back from college, you're still kind of into the nightlife scene.
Yeah.
And so you'd go out to, the local bar or whatever, and there'd be a girl at the bar.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, "Oh my God, I love your handbag. Like, where
Yes.
did you get it?" And you'd strike up a conversation. And then it was almost like weird asking for somebody's number or, "Do you want to hang out?"
We could be friends.
I made,
just saying.
in Riggs, we have a golden doodle. Our other dog is a golden doodle. And I remember one of my dear friends I have now, we met over because she has a doodle and I have a doodle.
Aw, yeah.
And we had taken him to a restaurant and we got in a conversation about the dogs and it just hit, and she had just moved here. And so she made the first move and asked me for my number.
Ooh.
I was like, "Oh, okay. Now we're going to
I
be
love
friends."
this. This is even better.
But all that to say, so I joined junior league
Yes.
to try to make friends. That was not the avenue for me.
Sure. Yeah.
I was not a good junior leaguer. And then I became friends with the girl that did photography for our wedding.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Just, you spend a lot of time together getting ready for your
100%.
wedding.
Yes.
She invited me to a girls' night. And that's where I met Brandy. who's one of my very dear friends
That's
now.
right.
And so
Yes.
we've all kind of, we joke because Brandy really is the one that has kind of, everybody was friends with Brandy first.
Ooh, yeah. So she's that core.
Yeah. So
She
she's
is that
she's
middle
core. So
core.
it's a
Yeah.
lot of
That's
different
good.
avenues of her life,
Yeah.
that
Brought y'all together.
brought us all together.
I love that.
So it's been, but we've had some tough times
Ups and downs.
because
Yeah.
initially when you start to become friends with people, you're uncomfortable speaking
Yeah.
up if there's something going on that you don't really agree
That's
with,
right. Yeah.
or that somebody's doing something that you don't think is a good idea, or you feel like you have to go with the flow because you don't
That's right.
want to, get kicked out of the group or whatever.
Because it took you so long to get
Right,
in the
'cause
group.
it takes you
I
so
sure don't want to get kicked
long.
out of the group.
So
Yes.
it's taken us a long time to be comfortable enough to say, I see you going down this path, and that's probably not the best
That's right.
of
Yeah.
ideas. Or,
Yeah.
I really see what you're trying to do, but you're walking on thin ice in this area of your
Yeah.
life, kind of thing.
And that's good. Yeah.
And we do that for each other. And now there's no hard feelings. Now
Oh,
it's
that's
not
good.
like, oh, what a
Why did you say
yeah.
that?
Why did she say that? Or why
Yeah.
does she not think that I'm perfect?
And then
or
going
whatever.
home. So I think my fear with friends was always, if I say this, what are they going to think about when they go home? Like
Right.
they're gonna really be contemplating. I can't believe she said this. She's really not my friend because she's
Right.
really trying to judge what I'm doing. Mm-mm.
Right.
That's not judging.
Right.
That's
It's
really just
from a
trying to
place of
help.
love.
And I think about even our office little group, the sisterhood of it.
Yes.
I think for us, it's okay to say what we think in the
Right.
moment, because even though they might be like, what, at the same time, they're like, okay, yeah, I understand why you're saying it.
Right.
It's a place of love
Yes.
for sure.
Yes.
And so-
and you have to be okay with people to know,
Yes.
for people to really be your people.
Yes.
You have to allow them that space to
Oh,
tell you when you're
yeah.
not doing the best thing.
That's exactly. And we all can benefit from that.
right.
Sometimes it's harder to hear, but if it is your friend or your sister, then yes.
I mean,
it
I
is
remember,
better.
it may have been a year ago. It may have been 6 months. It may have been 6 days ago. Heck, I don't know.
It's that age 40.
One of my friends asked me to go to dinner or lunch, and I was like, sure. And I
Yeah.
thought we were just going to lunch because we were going to lunch.
Mhm.
And she was like, look, I need to talk to you about something.
Mhm.
She's like, you've been acting really weird.
Oh, yeah.
This is what I've noticed.
okay.
And I need to know what's going on with you.
Okay.
And at the time, I didn't really even realize that I was acting. It was before our retreat, I had a
yes.
mental breakdown at our retreat too.
That was good. Yeah.
So,
It wasn't a mental breakdown. Just a breakdown.
but I didn't even realize that there was things going on
That's
that I needed
right.
to talk about.
That's
like
right.
I felt like I was holding it together so well.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good.
So for somebody to call me out
I was like,
on,
"Ugh."
and then tell me it was okay to not be
Yes.
okay, I'm sitting there
That's
crying in my
huge.
chicken salad sandwich at Nukes. So it's big. It's a big deal. And I've not ever had relationships like that.
Yes, I think that's important.
Yeah.
The retreat was a good one when
Yes.
we did talk to you and
Right.
about how you have been. But at the same time, I understand that you feel like why is anybody thinking I am messed up in this moment?
Right.
A, is it okay to say I'm messed up right now? And B, are you going to judge me when we start talking about this? Like, are you going to start looking at me differently?
And I think that's where we get afraid, especially when it comes to
Yeah, we
friendships.
close up.
You always want to be the best version of yourself.
That's right.
And it's like social media.
We talked about it. Vulnerability.
Yes.
That's exactly
so
right.
I think we carry that into all of our relationships that we
Yeah.
don't know if we can be real.
That's right. That's exactly right.
I think that's how you know when you find your people
Yes.
is who you can be real with.
Yeah, and we've talked about in previous episodes about self-care and being able to recharge. And I do feel like you talked about, Sarah, you being by yourself, and that's not how really you like to be surrounded by someone
Right.
or people. And I think when you're with your true friends, that's another way to recharge.
Yes.
It's easy to let go, recharge, and then you can go be your best self wherever that is, in your
Right.
home, in your business, in your profession. I think it's important to then find your tribe. And for me, I feel like, I have those friends that I don't always get together frequently, but I have those friends that I can call and talk to and be honest
That
with.
you just pick up.
Yes. And I will say, even since moving careers, I still have those friends that I made even at my previous employer. But someone said it best. I think actually it was our big boss. that said you'll know your true friends because they will follow you.
Yes.
You know,
those friendships will follow.
That your friendships will follow. And that was so accurate. I think for me, I felt like I was friends with everybody. You know, I'm friends with everybody.
Yes.
But was it really, like, was I really friends with everybody? So for me, moving professions,
right,
it was an opportunity for me to see, hey, who is my true friend?
Well, and that was a hard pill for me to swallow when I left my previous job because I felt like I was friends with everybody. And Jean was like, nobody is your friend.
That's what Chad would say.
Everybody is nice to you because you're the HR person, and they feel like they're going to be fired if they're. But I felt like I had personal relationships with these people.
That's right. Like
I mean, I knew about their kids. I knew about my kid. You know,
that's important. Yes.
I mean, but so out of the people that I probably felt like I was truly friends with, I have maybe 3 that I stay in contact with now. Yeah. And that's okay because those are the quality.
That's your core people. Yeah.
And I think people get caught up in that when they think about friendships.
Yes.
If they think about
quantity over quality. Oh, 100%.
Like I don't so we were somewhere and there was a silent auction and it was like a dinner party for you and 30 other people.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't know 30 people that I would invite to something. I mean,
I'm going to run out of people. It's unfortunate.
Like I'm going to have about 22 spaces left at that table.
I'm so sorry. I only have 8 people.
Yeah. So, but I think about that and I had a period in my life, you know, when I felt like that was a big deal that, what's wrong with me that I don't have 50 contacts, you know, to call.
That's right. It's so true.
But now I'm very thankful for my small circle.
Yes. It is the quality of those friends.
It's the quality. Yes.
100%.
And, you know, there's a not so great side of friendship too.
Oh, 100%.
When you have a falling out there's no real, you have these friendships that just end organically. You know, there's some that are for a season, but that always leaves some bad feelings.
It does.
Regardless of how it ends, whether it's a knockdown drag out, whether it's just you left jobs and now you don't see each other, you're not in each other's lives. You know, I saw something the other day that you're always going to be the villain in someone's story, but don't let it affect how your next chapter is written.
Oh.
And I was like,
good.
oh man,
that's good.
I love that.
Yeah, I do too.
Because I feel that, you know, I've got a few stories that I'm pretty sure that, I mean, imagine that I'm the villain in someone's story.
She's not the villain, people.
But, you know, and it's almost those situations when friendships end, like the more you try to explain your side of the story, the worse it makes you look.
Yeah.
Because if you try, you know, when you're trying to plead that you didn't do anything wrong, it just makes it sound like you did a lot wrong.
That's right.
And there's no wrong on either side. No. And that's what I just wish people could realize that,
that's right.
You know, we were in each other's lives for a season.
Yeah.
I have nothing bad to say about this person at all.
Yeah.
That's exactly but we're just not in each other's lives anymore.
Yeah.
But I think people struggle with that.
I see that sometimes.
Yes.
Like people holding grudges on like people who can't really get past hey, it was for a season.
Yes.
And now I need to move on.
You see them sharing it on social media, these passive aggressive memes and all the things. You see it, you know.
It's there. It's there. We see you. We see you.
We see you. We
see you and we hear you. But it's you know, I think for me, I'm going to say this and somebody's going to be like, oh my God. I think that is part of maturing in life.
Yes.
You know, understanding.
Oh, it is a sign of maturity. Yes.
You know, I do. And some people are like, I am mature. Yes, I know you are. But
I'll hold a grudge.
I know you are. But at the end of the day, when you can look past that and realize, hey, I need, you know, I've changed a little bit.
Right.
And I need to find my new tribe or my new person.
And it's almost like in a marriage, you have to evolve together.
Ooh.
Or it's not going to work out.
Yes, 100%.
You know, because you transition from that when you, especially like you get married and all your friends are single.
Yes.
You're not in that same place. Or, okay, well, now you're married, all your friends are married, but you're the first to have kids.
Yeah.
And you're not in the same place.
That's so true.
You know, and it really and truly, that's when I started to make friends, when I had Barrett.
Yeah.
Because I'd meet people at his school. The kids would hang out,
Yes.
and we'd be stuck on a play date, sitting on the back wall together while our kids were playing, and we just
Yes.
became friends.
Yeah.
I have a very good friend in our friend group. She taught Barrett and CJ at First Methodist.
Okay.
So
yes. Yes.
I connected with that teacher. And so,
Yes.
now we're friends. So I think kids are a good way to make friends, but you
Yeah.
have to open yourself up to that.
You do.
Because
You
it's
do.
hard to want to go on a play date. It's hard to be the
Yes.
one to reach out and coordinate the play date.
Oh.
But that's a great
Terrible
way
that, yeah.
to make friends at our
Yes.
age is through kids.
Yes. I absolutely agree.
Um,
So there's changes in
because
life.
you've got dance
Yeah.
moms.
Yeah.
Dance has been a thing that's brought you to some people
Yes,
that you maybe
exactly.
would not have been
There
exposed
is
to.
one, and I hope she listens, but there is one where we were on a cruise and it was a dance cruise, and people were getting me and her confused because we look very similar.
Okay.
So they'd be like, hey, I don't want to say her name, but hey, blah. And, and they're like, I'm not her. It was so funny. So that's how we really connected is we were very identical in our looks. And we talk about it all the time, but our children are very close,
Right.
very good friends. And so, and probably will be, they have that same, I don't know, mentality,
Right.
It's interesting watching your kids make friends, like you talked about, Barrett. And then as they grow, how sometimes they do have little beefs or whatnot,
Right.
little, I don't know, arguments, if you will, and
They
then they
do.
move on to
They
someone
do,
else.
yes.
But I do find that they go back,
Right.
which is so fun. It's easier for kids.
Do
We
you
talk about
feel
it.
like Maddie as a high schooler, is it's kind of the same as it is as an adult? I remember it was hard to make friends in high school.
So most of them come from her softball team. That really was her core group.
And that's what I was thinking, because when you get to high school is really when you start to find your thing.
Yeah.
Like before, everybody just played on the playground
Yes.
and whatever. Well, now I'm
Yes.
going to decide I want to play softball. I want to be a swimmer.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
want to go into the FFA. I want to
Yes.
do this.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything. I want
That's
to
right.
paint my fingernails black and, get a teardrop tattoo, so I don't know. So
That's right.
everybody goes their
To each
separate
his own.
ways.
Yeah.
And so it's,
Yeah.
but I also feel like that kind of, it's the same thing that we talked about, with adults.
Yeah.
I'm going to get married. I'm going to have kids. There's nothing wrong with the fact that you're still in the phase of life that you
Yeah.
want to do whatever it is you're doing.
100%. Yes.
It doesn't mean that either one of us are bad people. We just are going to move
No.
into a new season without
That's
each
right.
other.
That's right.
But then you have to find new people.
That's right. And I love you call it a season because those seasons can change and y'all can come back together.
Yes.
I do love that.
Yes.
The season piece of it.
So in her book, what suggestions does she give you on how to find your people?
So finding your people is being the first. It's like you talked about when you said going to the bar and
Right.
here's my number. No, it's really that communication piece. And I think we talk about it in multiple episodes about communication and being transparent. Just be open and honest. You'll find your people. You will meet people that is not who you will thrive to be around. But
Right.
don't let that discourage you from continuing to go around to people and talk. And again, I keep thinking about introverts having, being difficult with that.
Mm-hmm.
But don't let that scare you.
Right.
Make that first step, have the talk, and see where it goes. You never know. That could be your best friend beside
Well,
you.
and that's interesting that you say that, because it just made me think about, there's a girl that hangs out with us all the time, and that's what happened. She cuts another one of my friend's children's hair.
Yes.
And she was cutting their hair and was like, I need to ask you a question.
Oh, yes.
And she said she was so nervous. I thought she was going to ask me if I could donate a kidney or if I was a match or something.
What's your blood
And
type?
She was like, she's like, I see that you post on Facebook that you've got these friends that you go out to dinner with. She's like, would it be okay if I came to dinner with y'all one night?
Ooh.
And she was like, yeah, absolutely.
That's so
come.
good. That's so good.
And then, she came to dinner and now she hangs out
She's
with us all the
friends.
time. But
I
she
love
had no
that.
people. She had no friends outside of her little,
Yeah.
her work people, but their work
Sure.
people. Nobody has as fortunate to have work tribe like we have.
That's accurate.
I mean, we are very blessed.
That's
in our-
accurate.
I really cannot
Yes.
tell you anywhere that I've ever even
Yes.
heard of that has a work dynamic like
Yes.
we do.
I will say I had a tribe too at where my previous employer was,
Right.
but it was so big.
Right.
So this is very intimate, if
Yes.
you will.
It's
You know?
very, yeah.
Is that a good word for it? Intimate. Some people just need to
Invasive,
come by the office.
intimate, whatever.
It is that. But I love how she did that.
I don't know. Did you see on Facebook yesterday
Oh,
that
no.
somebody,
Did I?
it was maybe it was McKaylee that posted a meme about Tatina.
No,
it was
I
like-
missed it.
So it said, me telling my mom not to tell anyone, and then the picture is a woman in front of a news camera.
Oh, that's good. That is so good. Hey, that's
she attacked
TT,
Tatina,
yeah.
and I was like, and so I commented, and I was like, but don't act like y'all don't know everything about us too. Like,
Yeah, do not act that way.
I know
You
it works both ways.
Oh, there's some things we talk about. I cannot talk about. No, just kidding. Talking about vulnerability. We'll
That's
get there.
right. Talk about vulnerability, but
we'll get there. But that is funny because we actually Tina tells us everything,
she does.
and so that's what I'll say about
She
that.
does.
She tells us everything. So, but that's just our environment. That's
It is.
just where we are. So I think that sisterhood that we have is
100%.
very unique. just
And I
like
think you can
mentioned.
open yourself up to work relationships because there's a lot of people
Yes.
that say that you shouldn't become friends with people that you work with. It's
Oh,
professional environment only.
Oh, I've heard that for the longest
Yes.
time.
And I don't agree with that.
Thank you. You were in HR, so you are
No,
the
I don't
expertise
think
in
you
this.
should date people that you work
Oh,
with. Let me
yes.
say that for the
Oh,
record.
See, she's the HR professional.
Do not date people that you work with. That's a
Listen,
terrible idea.
We're gonna have an episode.
And I used to
all about
say
HR.
that in orientation. You know,
Yes.
we
Ooh.
don't. Yeah, I used to say that in orientation
Were
because
you the one that spoke in orientation?
I was.
Ooh, that's good.
I was like, it's
Yes.
all well and good when you're in love and
Yeah.
it's wonderful, but it's too much paperwork for me
Ooh.
when it doesn't work out. Someone just needs you not to be
It's actually not
attracted
about you. It's
to
about me and my
Johnny
paperwork.
John over there in his scrubs.
That's right.
He doesn't
Mm-mm.
look like that outside
No,
of here.
That's right.
His
Nor does he act that way.
Sweatpants have holes in
Nor
them.
does he act that way.
And, he chews with his mouth open. So just
Ooh.
stay away from him.
That's exactly right. I love that. So don't date them.
Right. Don't date them,
date 'em.
but open yourself up to be friends
Yeah.
with these people.
That's so
It does.
good.
I personally do not feel like it creates a better environment. You're more
Yes.
willing to help them when they get overwhelmed. You're more willing
yes.
to, step in
And say those opportunities.
Yes.
It's easier.
So to ask for help when you're friends with people.
Yes.
I think it goes back to the last episode, the burnout.
Yes.
If you've got people around you that you feel comfortable
Yeah.
and to be vulnerable with,
Yeah.
your friends,
That's right.
so I think it's fine to be friends with people that you work with.
I love that.
Yes. Don't date them.
From
Again,
From our HR professional.
the fine
here.
print. Don't date them, but be friends with them.
I love it.
And that's a great place to find people because you at least have that one interest.
And they might have friends that you really connect with
Right.
too. You know?
Yes. Yes.
Which is absolutely
friends.
okay. Friends of friends. Yeah.
I'm talking about memes a lot. You can tell I scrolled Instagram a lot last night because I couldn't sleep. But there's all these things like of me thinking about my best friend while she's hanging out with other people. Like, don't be like that.
Oh my Lord.
Don't be like that.
What?
That is probably jealousy
That's
is probably
bad.
one of the most toxic things for friendship.
I read that. So when I was looking about, I actually was researching friendship over 40. That's just where we are. And so I was looking at it.
Researcher. You're such a good
And-
little student.
Let's do this. Let's research topics. So when I did that, that's exactly what they talked about. Like, don't be jealous of the friends that you're trying to create, still living their own life.
Yes.
And creating that less stress environment for them
Right.
because you'll get there.
Right.
You'll
So if
get
you
there.
have a group of 5
Yeah.
and 2 go to lunch,
Yeah,
it doesn't
it's
mean you're
okay.
mad at the other 3
Holy moly, absolutely.
or don't like the other 3 or don't want to spend as much time. It's not a competition. There's no
Yes.
point system. There's no,
Yes.
there's no there shouldn't be a hierarchy in your friend group.
No.
We're not Regina George.
That is definitely, that would be bad.
Which for you young people, if you haven't been listening, Regina George is from Mean Girls. You should
Yes.
watch it if you haven't. B, that's on your list if you
It is
haven't
on your
seen
list.
it. Okay, all right.
Ooh,
We
good.
did find out last week that B had never seen Crocodile Dundee or
Or
Top
Top
Gun.
Gun, people.
So if you have any suggestions of movies that B has to watch, we're giving
Yeah.
her a list.
Sarah and I probably watched them, but not B.
Yes.
She's going to be busy.
Yes, we're gonna make her a list. So
She's
if you
gonna
have
be
any
busy.
suggestions, but I digress.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
But I agree. I truly believe that friendship could be a vulnerable state getting there. But once you find your people,
Mm-hmm.
that is when you're able to truly create the space of space you've probably never been in if you've never had true friendship.
Correct.
Yeah. And so I think that's so important. And
Do you stay in touch with
recharge.
anybody from college?
Via Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, when I moved, I'm a terrible example. When I moved here out of college, my best friend was Chad. you know, because he's what I knew, you know. Then as I went to school, I started more and more, you know, creating more friendships.
Right.
I worked with people that I became friends with in school, which was fun. But I was so far away.
Right.
I'm so far away. So it's, you know, going to dinner is a little hard,
Yeah.
you know, when you're 4 hours away.
Right.
So I do miss those, you know, opportunities, but I still have friends that I can do that live here.
Right.
Like there are, and again, quality over quantity. It's a handful of people that, hey, we can get together and have a good time and just relax and have fun and de-stress. But again, it's a handful. It's not a lot. I mean, you know what I mean?
There's a saying that you don't ever have the opportunity to make new old friends.
I think we've said that before. Yes.
And that is probably an area that I have not done what I should do.
Yeah.
I have one college friend.
Yeah.
One that I stay in touch with frequently. And I made a lot of what I felt like were really good friends in college.
That was your people for the season.
Yeah, for the season. But I have one that I'm like, I don't care if you want to be spring and I'm summer. You coming with me? Because
let's go. That's right.
But we are so funny.
Right.
It's funny that you know, Jeannie and I work out together, and we are so polar opposite.
Yeah,
like me and her name's Suzanne. We are polar opposite.
Isn't that funny?
We used to joke about it all the time. We could never take a road trip because we don't listen to the same type of music.
Oh no!
Like it was, what was it even called? Like Vulture or Volcom or something. I don't even remember what it was. But I was a Britney Spears.
Ooh.
And now I like Willie Nelson. She's a huge Willie Nelson fan. Like we'll go watch him wherever he is. Loves Willie Nelson.
I love that.
You know, I didn't at the time. I didn't appreciate it. Which thank you, Suzanne, for turning me on to Willie Nelson.
Thank you.
But she was like a Pearl Jam, like punk rock, like wore like
that is
the flannel and the jeans, like not into makeup or hair or product. And here I am with all the glitter, keeping emergency confetti in my pocket just in case it was, you know, anybody needed it.
Absolutely, you are. Absolutely, you are.
But I think maybe that has there's never been any competition between the two of us for, you know, we're not going after the same things. We're not looking, I don't know. So she's really my oldest friend now, which is only from college. Isn't it? But people, you know, you talk about people that have like high school friends and elementary school friends and stuff like that. And that is something that if I could go back and tell my younger self.
Ooh, that was a good episode.
Yeah, it would be to stay connected with, even if it's just one.
That's right.
Person that, you know.
Because they get you.
Yes.
Or when I say that, they were around you at a time where, I mean, it's hard growing up.
It is.
And it's hard. I'm thinking more like middle school, high school kind of days. But, you know, when you would say a story of back then they would understand, you know, and not everybody understands that because they weren't there.
Right.
You know, I mean, you can listen and, you know, try to understand it. But, you know, for people who were really there, that is, to me, that's cool.
Have you ever just, have you approached a stranger to be friends with them? Or not like necessarily a stranger. Like, no, you don't walk up to somebody in Target and you're like, hey.
I am the Big E, but.
let's be friends. But just, I mean, you've maybe been around somebody once or twice through a dance or a school or a something. And you're like, hey, do you want to hang out? Do you want to have a drink? Do you want to do something?
So that, I think probably the example I would have is at my last employer. And doing that. But I did not do that exactly. It was literally just in conversations. And then we organically like, hey, you want to go to, you know, dinner or, you know, happy hour or whatever. Right. And we did that. So I don't think I've ever really said to anybody, did I say it to you? I don't know.
No, it just happened organically. Go. Yeah.
It was organic in like conversations. It made sense. Yeah. And then we just did it.
It's kind of like, hey, we don't know each other that well, but do you want to start a podcast?
Yes, we do. Of course I do.
Do you want an opportunity to drink with me once a week?
Of course I do. My gosh, yes. Yes. So I would say no.
I don't think I have either. I've never made the first move.
Yeah. I love the stories where you know that they've done that. That is, hey, rock on, sister.
But
that's
I think
amazing.
I think you have to be able to step out of your comfort zone. Because number one, nobody's going to be like, ew, no. And if they are, then you know that's not where you need to be.
Here's your sign. People.
Here's your sign.
Here's your sign. Move on.
So I think you need to not be afraid to put yourself out there.
That's right. And be honest.
Start a conversation.
Be honest. Don't let that drag you into another conversation that's a little bit more difficult.
Yes.
Listen, no matter what you like, say it. Say what you
right.
Say
what you want to say. Do what you want to say.
Do what you want to say.
Do what you want to say.
But just be honest, and that way it will you truly know that that's your person.
Yes.
You know, instead of saying, I'm trying to think of something I can't right now, but you know, that's not honest.
And I think you have to be realistic with what you're able to give a friendship.
That's good
too.
Yeah.
Like,
yes,
don't.
yes.
Obviously, I think it's okay to be friends with people that are different than you in different walks of life than you. But
that's right.
I'm 40. I'm probably not going to develop a lifelong friendship with someone who is still taking Jaeger bombs.
100%.
Makes my mouth water to even say it.
Ooh, that's gross.
or like go into an outdoor festival because I need to know the
yes.
bathroom situation and the parking situation and when will there be snacks. Like,
we love snacks.
These are the things that I'm worried about in this phase of life. So
bathroom and snacks.
Right. So you just have to be realistic about where you are, what you're able to give a friendship.
Yes.
And don't feel bad that you don't fit
oh my gosh,
in every circle.
That's
like,
right.
When you find the table that you're meant to be at, there will always be a seat.
Ooh, that's
like,
good. Yeah.
You don't have to force yourself there.
I do love that.
And we put so much pressure on ourselves to be everything for everybody. And I think that includes our friend group.
Yeah.
And so if you have a friend or anyone that's making you feel like that's causing you anxiety or that's making you feel like you're having to come out of your character to remain friends with them, it's probably time to evaluate that relationship.
100%.
Yeah. Because it's not the way friendship is supposed to be.
No. Again, friendship should be those people that you turn to, that you can voice whatever it is on your mind and on your plate. And you know that they will analyze that and love you for that, no matter what it is.
Right.
They may give you feedback back, constructive.
Right.
But you are then in a place that you can receive it.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So, because you know that is your tribe.
Right.
And
it's coming from the right place.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
I love that.
Well, I apparently have liked this margarita more than you have.
Well, I've just been talking. I feel like I've just been talking.
Because I'm trying to like talk and at the same time.
She likes the
I need a straw.
A straw. That'd been good.
Because I feel like I'm like every 35 seconds in the microphone. You can hear the ice.
Do you
of
hear
my
the
drink.
ice? Mm-hmm.
I told you I love a margarita.
Mm-hmm.
So, but as much as I love a margarita, I'm only going to give it a 4.
Oh.
Because I feel like if it was,
I'm not a margarita like guru. Tell me why you give it just a 4.
Well, number one, it's not my homemade margarita.
Oh,
which I'll bring. I will make it. I'll make it. I'll make it. It just feels there's something in it I can tell is going to give me heartburn later.
Oh no!
Yeah,
that's another 40 thing. I think
that is another 40 thing you have to worry about.
Who else has to take Pepcid and a Meprazole?
You have to worry about heartburn at every turn.
Things, Zantac and blah. Oh yeah, I agree.
But it's good. And again, I feel like I like something fresh in my cocktails.
I do too.
So I feel like if I had maybe some fresh lime,
lime would make it much better.
Yeah. So I do, but I mean, I like it and I'll have it again. But it's only a 4 for me.
Yeah. I think it's a 4. It's very light. Like it's almost, I don't know. It's just very light. Mm-hmm. Like I almost don't get a whole lot of flavor from it, you know?
Yeah. So, it doesn't have a very,
when I think of a margarita.
Yes.
You know, like probably not like your homemade because you make it.
B, what do you think?
Yeah,
B. I give it a 4 too. I'm not a margarita drinker.
B's like, man.
It's
bland. That's probably good. That's probably a good way because we like the pineapple jalapeno.
Oh yeah, the jalapeno pineapple was delicious.
It has good flavor.
Yes,
you know.
Yes.
So be mindful of the skinny girl. They do have flavors,
different flavors. I feel like the spicy one would be good. Yeah. It's missing something.
I agree.
Extra.
Yes.
So the spicy would probably be really good.
Yeah, I do love that.
We'll try that one.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
No.
I mean, I feel like
pretty good on
I
the
feel
scale,
like our scale's basically 4 to 6.
Me too. I actually thought maybe we should redo our scale because we really are 4 to 6 and we said 1 to 5.
That's right. But it's good that we've not had anything that we give a 1.
Oh, ooh.
Or a 2 or a 3 apparently. I don't know what. Oh yeah, B gave the Bloody
the
Mary a
blonde.
negative 3.
Was that the
she
blonde? Did we
didn't
have
like
the
it.
blonde?
Yeah, the yellow
yellow.
tomato. See, I loved it, but B
I
was
thought it
like
was good too.
negative on the scale.
Negative. He was like,
It's not for her.
-4.
It's not for her. So, okay. Go out, make friends, find your people. Jeannie Allen has the book, Find Your People.
Finding Your People is good.
It's very good.
It's an easy read too.
Yes.
So it's not a hard read. It's easy. And it does give you tips, especially those that it's hard to communicate to people. So
Yes.
it does give you ideas of how to do that. Because
And
it's
don't
not
be afraid.
easy. It's
Go
not
up to
easy.
that mom that you see.
Yeah.
Go up to the lady in Target that you see all the time. You know,
Because you don't know. She probably
they
wants
probably
a
need
friend
people too.
Yes.
Yes.
And we don't know. We're missing some
Send
great
somebody a Facebook
opportunities.
message. Just ask them to
Yeah.
lunch.
Yeah.
Coffee, actually. Coffee's not
Coffee's
awkward.
good.
Coffee is quick. Coffee's in the morning. There's
Quick.
no
I've
pre-
done that on Instagram at work.
Ooh, have
Oh,
you
okay.
We've been friends for 5 years now.
Oh,
That's
so you can't really hear B, but B
awesome.
said she DM'd somebody on Instagram and it worked. They've been friends for 5
She
years
slid
now.
up in their DMs.
She did slide in their DMs, not like
That's
that.
what they say.
They
Not
do
like
say,
that.
yeah, they
That's
do.
what my
Yeah,
that's
they
what my
do say it like
teenager
that.
says.
Yeah,
We slide up in their DMs.
no, we don't. She
No.
sent them a message.
I love that. And then you've been friends for 5 years. That's
Yes.
amazing.
because
That's great.
that person probably feels just as insecure
That's it.
as you do.
Yeah.
They're probably
Yeah.
they're probably looking for somebody. They're probably looking for connection. Because
Yeah.
at our age, let's be honest. I mean, we're not all out there,
No.
just with 100 people
No.
in our circle.
No.
We're all looking for quality.
I love the quality over quantity.
Yes, we're all looking for that
This
quality.
is where we are in our life.
Yes.
Yeah.
So make the first move.
Yeah. I love it.
Yes.
Make that move. Love it.
Mm-mm-mm.
Ba, 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 ba. Just do it.
That's up. All right.
Well, friends.
Well, friends, y'all have a good week
I know.
and enjoy the chaos.
That's right. We'll be
Yeah.
back in 6 days.
We won't be because April won't cheers me.
I love to cheers.
At the end of everything, she always
grabs
misses
her glass, and I miss it.
it. Rejects me every single time.
Oh, never rejecting you.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's right. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media pages: Facebook, Instagram,
YouTube.
YouTube, and then also our blog is out there too
Yes.
at www.enjoythechaospodcast.org.
And the blooper reel will be up soon. We mentioned that a couple of episodes ago. So keep looking for that blooper reel. It will be on YouTube only.
Yeah.
And you can make a comment of your favorite catchphrase or stupid thing that we say all the time.
There'll be plenty to choose from.
And we're going to have a super fun giveaway.
That's right.
Yes.
You'll love it.
So
You'll
have a
love
good
it.
week, y'all.
Thanks, y'all. Bye.
Don't forget to follow the chaos on Instagram at Enjoy the Chaos Podcast _22. Facebook, Enjoy the Chaos with April and Sarah. YouTube, Enjoy the Chaos with April and Sarah. And don't forget to follow the blogs on the website at www.enjoythechaospodcast.org.